course. When I was in Japan, I did a lot of traveling back and forth to Japan and Taiwan, and that journey was very confusing, because in Japan, if you don't slurp your noodles when you eat out, they consider it bad, you're not enjoying your meal. So you have to slurp and eat. But in Taiwan, that's considered bad. So every time I had a noodle bowl in front of me, I was like, where am I? Now watch this slide very carefully. I don't know how many of you, I mean, they'll tell you, the guidebooks will tell you everything, you know, food, this, that, everything, but some of the very basic things are toilets. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the bidet.
That expert.
But if you read in Japan, you have some of the most automated toilet systems which almost resemble an airport cockpit, sorry, airplane cockpit. You can control the water pressure, you can control how hot and everything that. But what is very important is, if you are with a guest or something like that and you make mistakes understanding the control system, you will be red-faced because the water will be spraying all over the place. And then when you visit a toilet like this, you've got to not get distracted, do your business and get out. The other thing is, people often, when they go into a new country, it happens all the time. You begin missing home. You begin thinking that your home country was the best. There are so many things that don't happen the way you are used to them happening. And at such times, you are lonely. And what has worked for me in the past, and works often, is reaching out to people. See this photograph. Everybody looks so happy. And they are, of course. We were in a mountain home in Taiwan. But the unique thing is, nobody speaks English here, except probably my Switchie. But she said upfront, Ash, I'm going to come on this trip only if I don't speak any English. You figure out how to talk with the rest. So there was a whole lot of gesticulating, there was a whole lot of communicating, and I had the most amazing time, most amazing 2 days of my life. It was, and if you think you need language to communicate, hey, I think there's something much more bigger than the phonetics we use. It's called the language of humans, and that works across every culture. Then of course, when in Rome, do as Romans do. So when in Japan, do as Japanese do. Just enjoy your time, be yourself, and you will see amazing experiences happen to you. When I went to a restaurant out in the hills of Taiwan, the owner was so happy to have an international traveler come in. She began proclaiming, my restaurant is international. And hey, you eat and you go, that's your expectation, but no bill, hang on. She got her auntie, uncles and a few cousins and said, I want to show you our traditional dance. And before I know, I am in this circle making movements. I have no idea what I am doing, but it was such an amazing thing. Where else would you get such an experience? Really memorable. And of course, when homesickness inevitably arrives, absorb the flavors the country has to offer. If you are in Thailand, go seek out a Thai massage. One of the best things to happen, but be careful where you're going because you might end up doing something else than you When you are in Japan, take advantage of the local food, and remember there is this exterior to every person. They are hesitant to talk to you, but if you take that extra step and rub the exterior, you'll make friendships for life. Finally, DELPH, and this is the most important, I, integrate into the culture. When you go down the unbeaten path, when you go down like in Venice, when you go down lanes, you get lost, and you come up to someone and you only know buongiorno and grazie. So when you ask for directions, you have no idea what the other guy is telling because he speaks Italian. However, what a wonderful experience, because he walks with you and makes sure you reach your destination. You don't know what you're laughing about, but hey, you are having a good time. And of course, one of the things that worked for me, I approached the sensei. She's my teacher. She taught me the Japanese language, and that did wonders for me, because even the basics, like if you just can say good morning, good evening, thank you, hi, hello, it warms the locals. It's the most effective icebreaker there is ever. And so you become more familiar with the culture. But integrating has different dimensions. For example, in Japan, you must know you have to behave yourself when there is an earthquake. Everything shakes and you start trembling, but you are the only one running out of the building because the Japanese really don't care. They use it. Well, with that, thank you so much for staying to this presentation. I really loved it.
Okay, thank you, Ash. I like the mustache. Great. Okay, I don't think we could have had a better start of talking about diversity and culture than this talk. And if this talk was about general cultures and experience from a lot of cultures, our next talk, which is Philip, is about a specific culture that we'll get to know better. So, Philip.